Former NFL offensive lineman Mark Schlereth, who had issues with Jerry Jeudy, both of them from the Broncos, talked about what he's seen from Jeudy with the Browns.
Ultimately, you've been in the league for however long you've been in the league. You lead the league in drops every year. The lack of awareness, the fumble down the sideline was just unbelievable. Was that the Raiders? I think that was the Raiders game. The fumble down the sideline, like it just your complete and total lack of awareness. Those are the issues, and those were the issues. As I said, I probably came on your guys' show before. Said I wish I could buy him for what he's worth and sell him for what he thinks he's worth, because he's an unbelievably talented guy, but I think he's a very below-average football player.
In fairness, he's not having a good year, but he really isn't helping himself either, Quince.
Yeah, so it's been a rough one for Jerry Jeudy, right? And it's starting to compound. You're starting to see when things went wrong for him in Denver, how these things went wrong for him. I think the big thing for Jerry Jeudy is understanding that you're being tested in the same way you were being tested early in his Denver career. And he needs to have a different response to being tested than he had in Denver. I think Jerry Jeudy can be a productive player in this league. I think Jerry Jeudy has shown you he could be a productive player in this league. He had that production just last year. I just think right now there's too much pressure on Jerry Jeudy on and off the field to be the guy for this Browns wide receiver room. I think he's somebody who can be really helpful in a group project, but he's not somebody who's going to excel if left on to his own, right? And I think that's been the issue for Jerry, is they've been leaning on him to try to be the vet of this locker room. Remember, we talked about it. It's kind of crazy that Jerry Jeudy was the oldest guy in the Cleveland Browns wide receiver room. And I think, he struggled with all of that. I think we put a lot on him after that good season to kind of make some jumps that he probably wasn't ready for. And I think he's collapsed under that. I don't think that means you just leave him under the rubble. I think you clear the rubble and you get him into a situation where he could thrive again, because he's proven he could thrive in his offense. And we're in no position to say no to wide receiver talent at this point. You just got to get him back into a position on a role that makes sense for him. And I think that's something that you can obtain in the offseason. I wouldn't give up on Jerry Jeudy. I know it's very easy to now because he does stuff that's kind of annoying and he compounds on it. He doesn't have the greatest answers in press conferences, and he does have to adjust that part of him, but that's very adjustable, right? And I think the things that can be fixed with them are very fixable.
Yep, you got to go out and get a number one wide receiver. He thrives when there is somebody that is kind of,
or at least
the
somebody who can,
right?
Yeah, like you might not need like a true number one, but you need somebody to share the backcourt with him, to use a basketball term, right? Like, to be able to play off of him, take some attention away, and take some of the load of leading the offense away, right? I think you need to have somebody in the locker room that could do that as well. So, he's just been asked to do a lot here, and I think that's been that's been too much for Jerry Jeudy. I think they were hoping that he could hold up to that challenge, but he can't. So we just got to put him back in the situation to succeed like he did last year.